Aloha everyone, this is Dr. Gibson. Welcome to OC 6444, Creativity and Innovations. This is the Unit 4 presentation, and the theme for our unit is. Before we get started, I do want to make some comments from Unit 3. I did grade all the case analysis assignments, and overall the assignment went quite well. It seemed that students' assignments fell into one of three groups. So those groups were students that read the ELLIT text and watched how to write a case analysis resource guide presentation. These students in particular earned full credits and did an excellent job hitting every point in the grading rubric and every point that I discussed in the How to Write a Case Analysis resource guide presentation. I was very impressed with the level of work of these students. They certainly spent a lot of time on the assignment. They did a great job applying models to actually analyze the case. So they used an analytical framework, applied it to the case, and came up with conclusions and really strong action plans. The second group of students were those that only read the text, and these students did fairly well on the assignment. Where there was some difficulty with this group of students was looking at the analytical tools, because that's not mentioned in the text, and that is a portion of the grading rubric. Also, certain aspects of the action plan weren't included in those students' assignments. So if you didn't earn the score that you wanted to, make sure that you are taking a look at the comments that I provided, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. The third group of students are those that didn't follow any format at all, and their analysis read more like one long summary of the case. So if you are one of those students, please make sure that you do view the resource guide presentation. Make sure that you are reading the text. The good news with the practice case analysis assignment is that it's only worth 25 points. So again, if you didn't earn the score that you wanted, the point value will not impact your grade overall in the course in a big way. However, the individual case analysis assignment and the team case analysis assignment are worth 100 points each. So it is important that you look at the comments and feedback that I provided each of you so that you know what areas you did well on and areas that need a little bit of improvement. I did provide students in-text comments. So when you're looking at your Blackboard grades, when you click on the document that you actually submitted, uh, it will pop up in Blackboard, and you should be able to view my comments that are inserted within your assignment. If you're having trouble viewing those, please, please, please make sure that you contact me. There's no point in the instructor spending time writing these comments if students are unable to view them. I also provided each student the grade breakdown in an additional PDF file. So essentially, this is the grading rubric that I kept in front of me when I was analyzing and grading everyone's work. And it shows you the different areas and where you may have earned full credit, or if there was an area that needed a little bit of work. So you can see what areas you have for improvement or what areas that you're doing well on. Again, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. That's what I'm here for. So if you're not quite sure why you earned the score that you did, or you don't quite understand one of my comments in your assignment, please let me know. The discussion assignment, we discussed Team Wikispeed. I do want to give a shout out to Discussion Team 3. Thanks for being so thorough and active in the discussion assignment. Uh, this team in particular has gone above and beyond my expectations for the discussion assignment. These students are really interactive and logging on many times during the week and commenting and responding to others' questions and my questions. So I do want to praise that particular group. I will be grading the Team Wikispeed discussion assignment on Monday and Tuesday, so please be on the lookout. We have some assigned readings for Unit 4. First off, the case is called El Bulli's Magic Recipe. Out of all the cases in this course, this is my favorite case. And you'll see why in a few minutes when I go over some of the videos. We're also going to read chapters 6 and 7 in our Managing Change, Creativity, and Innovation textbook. And then we have 3 fairly short articles for you to read during this unit. The first one is called Managing for Creativity. It is a Harvard Business Review article, but this article specifically talks about creating work environments that are conducive to creativity and innovation, so those that foster those specific types of qualities. The second article, uh, you'll see the lead author is also Teresa Amabile, that we've read some of her work before. This particular article, it's also a Harvard Business Review article, but it's called Creativity Under the Gun. And I'm sure you've heard the phrase, or you may be one of those people that think that you work really well under pressure, and that's when you come up with your most creative solutions. And the authors here are contending that the research that they've done, that this is not actually the case. So this is a good read in particular. In the last article, again, also by Teresa Amabile, it's called How to Kill Creativity. And what's interesting is these articles, and this one in particular, is geared towards the theme of our unit, which is creativity in the workplace. So we're going to be talking about different kinds of work environments, motivation, and rewards in this particular article. So I actually think that these 3 articles tie in really well with the El Bulli case, as well as the videos that we will be watching in this. We have 4 videos for Unit 4. Only 3 of them are required, so let's go over them. The first one is called Fostering Creativity and Innovation in the Workplace. This is a TED Talk. I believe it's from the TED Talk Symposium from Sydney. It's fairly short, a little under 10 minutes, and this video will start us off in terms of thinking about creativity and our work environment. The second one, yes, we will be watching an episode of Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations. This particular episode, it was actually a special, and it's called Decoding Ferran Adria, who is the chef at El Bulli. This is an amazing episode. It's fun to watch, and in my opinion is quite interesting. So it is the full episode. It's about 46 minutes long. The third video is called Ferran Adria, The Family Meal, and this is a presentation at the corporation of Google. So it is kind of long. It's a little over an hour, but I do think that you're going to find it quite interesting, and again, tying into our readings for this unit. Finally, there is an optional video, and it's called The Finale, and it is the final class in a food science course at Harvard University, and Ferran Adria is a guest at this presentation, but being that it's 2 hours and 7 minutes long, it is optional for you to view, but If you watch the other videos and you do the reading and you're really quite curious about some of the science behind food, I think you'll find that video presentation quite interesting. We have two deliverables due in Unit 4. The first one will be the Unit 4 discussion, and we are going to focus on the El Bulli magic recipe case, the videos that we watch in this unit, and the assigned readings for this particular unit. Second, we do have the midterm exam. It is worth 100 points, and I am going to go over it in more detail in the next slide. So the midterm exam will be released to students at 12:30 a.m. on the Monday of Unit 4. Most of the time, students are curious, concerned, and a little apprehensive about the midterm exam. So I want to put some of those concerns at ease as I go over what I'm looking for in the midterm. So first off, it consists of a 4-page case study that I provide you, and it's followed by 5 questions. So each of those questions are worth 20 points, and each question requires you to support your answers with evidence from our course resources. Our course resources include our discussions that we've had to this point, the cases that we've read up to this point, the textbook readings and articles that we've read to this point, as well as the videos that we've watched up until this point. I do want to remind you that what we are reading, discussing, and watching in Unit 4 is considered fair game for the midterm. So make sure that you are keeping up with your Unit 4 readings because they will be included in the midterm exam. So a few caveats to the midterm. Your entire document cannot exceed 10 double-spaced pages. So the reason that I put a maximum page length on the midterm is because it forces you to actually choose the most important aspects of the concepts that we've discussed in class, and that way you're not just regurgitating everything you know about, for example, design thinking. So it requires you to apply that information to the case, but also it forces you to pick the most important things about each of the questions. The midterm is due on June 12th at 11:55 p.m., so that's the Sunday of Unit 4. The format of your answers, it's quite simple. Please just write the question followed by your answer. Include a reference page at the end of your document with the full citations. The reference page is not included in your 10-page maximum caveat. So there are some common pitfalls with the midterm exam that I do want to make sure that everyone is aware of. So some of the problem areas I've listed below, but I'm going to go through each of them. So the first one is being uncertain what the question is specifically asking for. I don't intentionally write tricky questions. So if you're unclear about a portion of a question or you're just not sure, it's in your best interest to email me to make sure that I can clarify those issues for you. The second one, not answering every part of the question. I see this a lot. Students will spend a lot of time answering the first part of a question, but then forget to follow up their answer with the second part of the question. So make sure that you are reading each question in its entirety and make sure that your answer addresses every part of that. The third pitfall is providing a response based on your opinion only. This is an issue that employers later on in your career are going to specifically ask you why you chose to make a decision that you did. And the response of "because I think so" is not going to be an adequate response. So make sure that you are providing a response that is rooted in theory and backed up with research that we have discussed to this point in the term. The fourth pitfall, not including the article readings in your discussion. All of the readings are not going to be applicable to the midterm. But for example, it would be hard to write a comprehensive answer on design thinking without mentioning the Brown article that we read. So there are several instances where you can tell which students did all the reading and which students did not. Again, if you have a question, please ask. I don't intentionally write tricky questions. So if you're not clear, please email me and we can clarify that. If your question is something that I think the entire class would be interested in, again, I will post that as an announcement. Other than that, please keep me informed as you work on the midterm. I will be participating in the discussion on this case as well. So I look forward to reading your responses and reading your midterm exam. Have a great week.